Good morning. Welcome to Expat Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhian. Here at Expat Insights, we take external views of internal successes by foreigners, expats, and immigrants who have made Philippines their home and are doing good either in business or society in the Philippines. This Friday morning on Expat Insights, we don't have any aliens or expats in the room except for myself, but we have two very creative people, and we are going to look at the subject matter of writing and blogging in today's world, but we are calling the theme Mightier Than the Sword. You figure out the rest of that figure of speech. And my first guest, a writer, business, corporate writer, and newly turned professional, Louis Francia, to talk to us about the power of words, the power of good writing. Louis Francia, welcome to Expat Insights.
Thank you for having me, Raju.
So Louis, tell us a bit about yourself. And I have so many questions to ask you. And I'm run out of time, but I need to ask you two things. No? Number one is there are probably lots of budding writers, bloggers, online writers, because I'll take up online writing with Mr. Ben Francia, who's coming up next. No? What are your tips? Can you give us 3 tips to writers who are wishful writers who want to become writers? What would you ask them to do, spiritually, emotionally? There's a lady here, and she wants to know how she wants to become a good writer.
You have, first of all, slow down. I know that's a very odd thing, but some writers, they want to get onto it right away, and they're very focused on deadlines.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Right.
Slow down. Review, research, look back, look at your, before you click the send or the submit. So slow down. All of this requires, you can't be in a hurry doing that. So you have to slow down. You have to know yourself. That's important because every writer brings something into an article. And that's why they chose you to write it, because they think you have the perspective.
Or when you're writing for yourself. Also, you need to know yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
And the third tip?
Is know your subject matter.
Become
what it is you're writing.
your...
You have to research. Because some people maybe are in a hurry. They're focusing on the deadline. Focus on the article.
I love
and
those
on your
tips.
style.
I really love those tips. Slow down. Really slow down. Number 2, know yourself well. No? Like what value you're creating, and then make it worthwhile to the market. That's the third tip. Louis, and thank you very much for those tips. Fabulous little insights on writing. Now, you brought this book along called Don't Think of a Blue Ball. Do you want to tell me about it? You brought this along. You want to hold it and tell me about it? Yeah?
We were talking, you said the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah,
well, we didn't actually get too much into that. But we're talking about words, for example, the choice of words, what we think often and say often. And the author, Malti Poljwani, who I met online, she's the author of this book.
Yeah.
And just from the title, she uses NLP. You're familiar with NLP?
I am familiar with that, yes. So that's the person here.
And I particularly like this book. I wrote a review on it because it aligns also with what I believe in. She talks about an old topic. It's the law of attraction.
Right.
It's not a new topic, but her new twist on it is that she makes it very, very direct and very easy to understand by the average person. And she has exercises that are really simple, and then she uses also simple words. So words are important. She uses analogy that helps a person create the image in his mind or her mind.
So you regard this from a ranking of 1 to 10, you regard this as
9, yes. 9, I think
read,
so. Especially for beginners, for people who are not familiar with the law of attraction, and for those who have been reading it for years.
I'm a little familiar with the science behind that NLP which you mentioned. No? Is when you choose words which are negative, you create a negative reality. You create a negative future. But when you choose words which are essentially positive, then even the subtle or the subjective impact to your mind becomes positive.
Exactly.
So, Louis Francia, thank you very much for being on Expat Insights. Thank you for your wonderful insights on writing.
Yes, that's in Amazon, by the way.
Flourish, and may you become a recognized writer here and abroad. No? So you want to stay and watch Ben Francia talk about online writing, and you can actually throw in questions or come back if you wish. So salamat po, Ma'am
Thank
Louis
you
Francia.
very much, Raju.
Gracias. So that was Louis Francia, professional writer. She doesn't want to be called professional, but professional writer as far as I'm concerned. And she gave us insights about writing in today's world. And well, we still have to battle that discussion whether the pen is mightier than the sword. And we'll take a break and we'll come back and talk to Mr. Ben Francia, no relation to Louis Francia. Maybe 100 years ago, you know, they fought the war together. So we'll come back and talk to him about the value of writing online or using the keyboard instead of the pen, which might be mightier than the sword. So stay watching. I'm your host Raju Mandian, and this is Expand Insights.
Me standing here is testimony to the fact that the stuff that I've written about in this book, it works. It works. You can't try to write a book. You can't try to make your dreams come true. You want to make your dreams come true, you go out and you do it. Actually, the low point. And she actually reminded me of all the things I already had, to be grateful for them. And it's only when you're grateful for what you have that you can go out there and actually create more in your life.
You know what I like most about the book was you being you. You opening your heart up and sharing your love for the world, your experiences, your pain, your agony, and yet you showed solutions to it all and how you've come over such obstacles in your life. Because man, what you've done here is fantastic, and I admire you for what you've done.